Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Corner. Time now for another edition of Art Regner's video web chat. And as you can tell, today, as we've added more to the Sports Corner, a Michigan State t-shirt, only Michigan State paraphernalia I own, and it's Grumpy Sparty, my favorite, and of course a real live Michigan football helmet that I got for Christmas when I was a little boy, one of my prized possessions. I was going to talk about college football. Everybody up in arms. The guy, Musselman or whatever his name is, the guy from Champaign-Urbana made Michigan #1, and Michigan's rated higher than Michigan State in some polls, and everyone's outraged. We're getting to that tomorrow, because I really have to talk about the Detroit Tigers again, specifically Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer goes tonight for the Tigers against the Toronto Blue Jays, and I'm telling you right now, it is the biggest start of Max Scherzer's Tiger career. Scherzer right now is 12-6. He has a 4.41 ERA. He has 11.4 strikeouts per 9 innings, which is the best of the major leagues. He's second in strikeouts in the major leagues, only to Justin Verlander. Since he started off the season at 5-4, Scherzer is 7-2. His ERA is 3.07, and his strikeout to walk ratio is 90-21. So he's playing very, very well. He's pitching well. He's coming out of it, and especially with the family tragedy with his brother's death, you have to really tip your cap to Max Scherzer and thinks that maybe he's finally turned it around. He hasn't faced the Blue Jays this year, but last year in 3 starts, his ERA against Toronto was 1.89, and he had 16 strikeouts in 19 innings. So you would think, okay, the Blue Jays are one of those teams. They're a little bit of a free-swinging team. I know they're a little bit banged up, they being the Blue Jays, but you got to think that this is a game that Scherzer should dominate, and he has to dominate because time is running out on the Tigers. You know, I know everyone's talking about, oh, geez, well, listen, they have the same record as they did last year at this time, and then they went on that tremendous streak and won their division by 15 games. Well, that's fine. That's true. Entirely different now. Chicago's playing very, very well. They're not going away. They came back twice on the Yankees last night. Granted, the game was in Chicago, so I think that the White Sox are here to stay, and they're going to make a race of this all the way till the end. The Tigers and White Sox only play 7 more times, and that is 4 games in Chicago and 3 in Detroit, although, you know, 7 games may or may not decide the division. I said that last week, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a dogfight because of the extra wild card team in there now, and Detroit trails in the wild card by 3 teams right now. 3 teams. Now, granted, they're all really bunched in, but you never want to trail 3 teams. I mean, I just don't think that's a good sign. If they don't win their division, I still don't think they're making the playoffs. That's why Max Scherzer is the key. Max Scherzer is a tremendous, tremendous talent. We all know that. Max Scherzer's biggest enemy is himself. Just when you think Max is going to turn it around and be that dominant pitcher, I mean, he has the power arm, he strikes out. When he's on, he's virtually unhittable. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball, but it flows, it comes and goes. That's why Max Scherzer is the key to the Tigers' success. You know, Doug Fister, I know he's a little bit hurt, and people were in a panic that after Sunday's game where he blew the 5-0 lead that he was limping around the Tiger clubhouse after the game. No one in the Tiger organization has said anything about it. I'm sure that the fist is fine, but right now he's 1 game under 500. I know he's pitched very, very well since the All-Star break, but really, the guy that I think can solidify it is Scherzer. If Scherzer wins tonight, and he needs to win, and he must win, yeah, he's won 13 games. How many games has Justin Verlander won this year? 12. Okay, so I'm just saying that Max Scherzer is the key. He's a very talented pitcher, and he has to get his act together sooner or later, and it has to be tonight against the Toronto Blue Jays. The Tigers are really running out of time. They trail Chicago, and they trail 3 teams for the wild card. It's not good. But Scherzer is the man. That's, I hope, he's the man. Because if he's not, I believe the Tigers are in trouble. I think if there's one aspect that can gain consistency and get better and carry the Tigers through, it is going to be their starting pitching. In order for that to happen, Justin Verlander needs help. Doug Fister, I think, provides some help, but he's not the dominant pitcher that he was last year. That has to fall on to Max Scherzer. He's been around long enough. here in Detroit. He's pitched in some big games. He had an opportunity last year in the American League Championship Series against Texas to show us what he had, and he bombed. Well, it's now time for Max Scherzer to grab the ball, go out on that mound, and be the dominant pitcher game in and game out like he's capable of being. The Tigers need him. And you know, more importantly, I think Max Scherzer needs this too. He needs a shot of confidence, and the only way he's going to get a shot of confidence, because as I said earlier, he's his own worst enemy, is going to come from Max Scherzer. What better way than against the Toronto Blue Jays, a team that he dominated last year? He hasn't faced him, as I said earlier, this year. That's why he needs to do it. Now, people are thinking, well, okay, yeah, all right, sure, that's fine, Regner. Yeah, you're right. But what about Anibal Sanchez? He starts Wednesday night against the Blue Jays. Isn't that a bigger start? Isn't Anibal Sanchez a guy who the Tigers really need? Well, number one, Anibal Sanchez is not going to be Doug Fister of last year. Anything that Anibal Sanchez does, I call him a gravy player. Anything he does in a positive light is gravy, because you don't expect anything from him. I don't expect anything from him. Anibal Sanchez is going to give you what he has, and some nights it may be good, but most nights it's not, based on his performance in Detroit so far. So if you have to look at one aspect of the Tigers game that I think needs to be better, it is, without question, it's their starting pitching. I don't think the bottom of the lineup is going to be that consistent enough, and I don't think Cabrera, Jackson, and Fielder can do it game in and game out. As I said last week, I do think it's humanly impossible. So if I'm looking to one player to turn this Tiger season around and to make sure that they get into the playoffs, and I think they have to win the Central Division because I think the wild card is out. I just have a funny feeling it's more intuition than it is anything else. I can't base that in rhyme or reason or facts. I think it's Max Scherzer. That's why, Max, tonight is the biggest start of your Tigers career. Come on, Max, you can do it. Be the pitcher we all know that you can be. Don't be your worst enemy. Be your best friend. Straighten everything out, get those mechanics together, mow down the Blue Jays, and then you and Justin, along with the fist, 3 solid starters. Porcello comes and goes. Sanchez, gravy player, as I said. But if Max Scherzer can turn it around and dominate beginning tonight, then the Tigers may, they just may, make a race of this yet and be the team that we all expected them to be when the season started. That'll do it for this edition of the video blog. Until tomorrow when we talk Michigan State football. Yeah, Gruff Sparty, he's kind of cool looking. Michigan, though, that helmet can't be beat. Anyway, we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Have a safe and pleasant one, everyone. We'll see you. Bye-bye.